Hello everybody and welcome back to these parts of the internet, my channel to be more specific. I know it's been a while since my last post, but yeah, it's been some crazy times. Hopefully all the craziness is going to settle down pretty easily and I'm going to be able to get back on track. And this is basically me trying to do exactly that. So yeah, there's a few things that have kind of changed, and basically the plan is to have a couple of videos where I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about that. I'm trying a couple of new things and doing a few changes. Pretty much this being one of them. I just attached the microphone here on a little armband, see how this works and see if this is a thing that I'm gonna be keeping on in the future, see if I can get it accommodated with this thing. And yeah, as you can see, another change of scenery because I'm right now on the floor. Basically, it's kind of a way of, going through that YouTube nostalgia. Because, yeah, for those of you who probably watched PewDiePie at some point, you might remember Floor Gang. So, yeah, well, that is gone now, but hey, I'm the floor gang now. But like I said, I'm going to try to explain a lot of what happened because I think some of the information is going to be good to know for a lot of other people. But yeah, this video is totally something else and it's a long overdue video. Basically, because of all the problems that I have encountered in the last few weeks, I have missed a few uploads, including uploading the update for my situation on YouTube. So the second month basically has no video. So this one, considering the fact that I haven't been doing much and I haven't been, creating and posting and growing the channel, is not much to see. So it's gonna be two for the price of one, which is not really that big of a deal because these videos are free. So yeah, so a piece of good news that I have, probably some of you who managed to watch some of my videos before, you might know that I had problems with my laptop, which was kind of difficult to deal with, especially in recording these kind of videos. But everything is fixed now, so we can have some videos that are going to be recorded in peace. So with this fix, obviously I got my trusted partner here in order to share the details. Like I was saying, this kind of video is my way of showing how exactly a YouTube channel looks like, starting from absolute zero and without some crazy things, like everybody's just trying to spew online, you should do this, you should do that. Look, this is absolutely 100% organic. This is from absolute zero without any kind of base, from before. Is just a complete nobody like me trying to do something on the internet and trying to kind of navigate everything that's happening, trying to improve all the things that are going on, basically how I'm in front of the camera, the things that go through my mind, the videos that I want to make, pretty much finding the voice that I need, finding the niche that I need or something like that. So it's a lot to do in the process. So basically, yeah, I'm showing you exactly what happened from the start point to this point in terms of analytics and what kind of numbers have I managed to pull off. So by taking a look at my main page, you can see that I got to the beautiful number of 4 subscribers, but I'll get into more details in just a few minutes. But the thing that I want to point out here is the number of 14 videos, which, because of the problems that I had, well, it's less than I was anticipating. But this is basically one thing that I wanted to, put out there. As you can see, it's not much, in terms of presenting the videos that I have, is not much in terms of creating super extraordinary thumbnails, with one or two exceptions. I'm not saying that they're good, but it's a try. Most important thing here is the fact that I want to underline that I'm not really great at creating graphics for these videos. It's a thing that I want to do myself, so it's a thing that I'm going to improve. But I'm still going to post and do my thing because I want to grow my channel step by step and see exactly how things can work. Also, the fact that I mentioned before, the 14 videos, which is less than expected, is a thing that I would would pretty much want everybody to understand. You know, there's a lot of things that's going to happen in your life, just like it happened to me. And even though you have certain plans, they might not all work as expected. And that's going to be a problem. But, you know, even though it's going to be a problem, you just have to keep going at it. And I know this sounds very simple and very cliche, but it is just the way that things are going to work for you. My last upload was 2 weeks ago, or a little bit more than 2 weeks ago. You know, I don't exactly know when this is gonna go live, but the thing that I'm trying to point out here is that yes, you know, I had a plan. It went completely sideways, but I am dedicated to this whole journey that I set out on, and obviously I'm going to just keep going at it. Now, this is the next thing that I want to show because of those problems that I mentioned. Yeah, my analytics for the last 28 days, which were not absolutely great, will obviously look super, super abysmal. I mean, barely any views, barely any watch time hours, and well, even though that was the case, I have one more subscriber, which is absolutely great. But yeah, in the grand scheme of things, you can say that things are not looking that good. Now, as I said, I missed last month's update, but because I haven't done a lot of things, just, you know, my channel didn't really have a good period. And also, it's just the beginning. More than that, what I'm going to show you right now is basically the first 90 days in full, and that's what's going to show a better picture of what happened. Even though you can see a few spikes, and by just looking at it, they might look good. Well, you have to keep in mind these are very low numbers. So compared to 0, which is the number that shows in the bottom corner, well, obviously this is going to be great. The most important thing that you can take from these spikes is that obviously they appear whenever there's a video coming out. Some of the videos that I made basically had more traction, and that happened also when I just posted one of my shorts. Didn't really do much anything about it afterwards, but yeah, it helped me a lot. Also, if you can take a look here, there's videos being posted quite close around each other, and those are the ones who just drive up those spikes. The problem is, well, consistency. And the problem here is that the engagement is going to drop because lately, you know, like the 30th of March, as we can see here on this graphic, well, it had a few videos posted during that time. But the problem is because it didn't really have consistency that I wanted, well, what happened is that the engagement kind of was dropping off. So yeah, this is one of the takes that you have to understand, that really it's really important to have consistency on YouTube. And yeah, and you should probably take into account any kind of situation that might get you out of the game for a period of time, because this is going to be looking bad for you, especially if you're in the beginning. If you have a bigger channel, it's not going to be the same kind of problem, but yeah, it is something that is going to affect your growth. Also, this kind of situation with the consistency is proven by the fact that last time when I did one of these videos, I had 3 subscribers and now I have 4. So basically, I had 3 subscribers after my first month when I did some random videos, and then because I just couldn't really keep up with the schedule that I set up for myself, and I had a few problems and I have to deal with things however they came, well, obviously this affected the whole situation of the channel, and the growth couldn't really be translated for the next period of time. That's why for the next 2 months, now I just have 1 more subscriber than I had in just 1 month. More than that, it's really impressive because things have actually grown. As you can see, I have 253 total views with 7 hours of watch time. But again, we are talking about a brand new channel with 4 subscribers, barely any kind of visibility. So yeah, for me, this is absolutely great that these kind of numbers could be, you know, summed up after all this time, even taking into consideration the situation that I had. By taking a little bit of a deeper dive into the videos that I posted, you might probably know if you watched previous videos that I did a couple of things related to what Kai Cenat was trying to do at the beginning of the year, and I was really hopeful of having a positive impact with those videos, especially since one of them just had a lot of traction, and lo and behold, it did happen. Well, it's not necessarily one of the biggest well, it's not necessarily a video that gets any traction right now, because obviously that time kind of passed for the video. But obviously for me, this is a pretty important milestone because I have my first video that got over 100 views. Not only that, but the next video that I have, it's my first short that I posted, and it's nothing special. It's just me talking about what exactly is going to happen on here on YouTube and on my social medias, basically what kind of things I am intending to do in the future. And well, even though it has low numbers, well, it's not an interesting video to see, especially in short format. And yeah, 45 views out of nowhere, that's pretty impressive. Now looking at the other videos, well, there's something worth mentioning. Even though they don't have big numbers and I have nothing to brag about here, the situation is pretty simple. It's really important to take a look at these videos, even though they're old, whenever you have a channel like this, because they might have like a little peak whenever they go live, because YouTube and any other platform will just try to get it out there to test it against a few types of audiences. So basically the most amount of views that you're gonna get are gonna be like in the first moments after the upload. Basically that's what happened to me, but then I had like 1 or 2 views coming up in the last few weeks for some of my videos that were posted like a month ago. So that's going to be a good thing for, going on into the future. So in terms of the content that I made on this tab, well, the numbers are going to be a little bit more positive, and is going to give you a little bit of a boost. In the last 90 days, the specific amount of views that I got through the videos that I posted and one short, obviously it's 208. We have a total number of 6.1k impression, which, well, obviously it's pretty good, but being a small channel and having that amount of impression could be great, but it's not really going to translate in a huge breakthrough. But it's really impressive for you, especially in the beginning, to see numbers like that, even though they're not going to help you a lot, especially now. Also, the impression click-through rate, which is important, is 2.5%. Now this is quite a low number, but the important thing that we should have to take note here is that you will going to see numbers that are lower than you would expect for pretty much every single channel, because this is the way that things kind of work. Even though it's going to be depressing, well, it is what it is. Even though it's really bad, considering all the factors of the equation, the fact that I have a brand new channel, is just started from zero. It's about 3 months old. I have nothing to boost me up, like like a media presence from before or anything like that. Well, it's pretty much okay for the situation. Now, as you can see, we're now on the audience tab, which is going to be probably the most depressing data point in all this video, because my monthly audience is now at number 10. Yeah, it's just 10 people being counted as monthly audience in the last few weeks, and that is a little bit bad compared to my previous situation where I had like around 100 people as monthly audience, which was pretty good. But this is basically another situation that I can use to underline the importance of consistency. I mentioned that everything went outside the window for me, and I had some problems, and that affected the situation of the entire channel. And this is actually what you can see here, because this is how things are going to look when you don't have the consistency that you have to put in, especially for a brand new channel. And this is pretty much how things are going to look. So yes, those were the numbers that I had for the past 2 months. Not really that much to show for it. Things are a little bit worse than before, but I explain to you why that is, because everything chopped at my consistency and I wasn't able to keep the schedule exactly as I wanted. That translated into the performance of my channel. Now well, I am planning to keep things in check, and I'm planning to just do things exactly as I wanted to keep back at things, and get back to that growth that I was expecting, basically, even in these initial moments of the channel. I know there's not much to be looking at it because, with low numbers like that, there's a lot of data that YouTube doesn't really show you, and some of that data, even if it's shown to you by YouTube, is not going to be really that significant because you don't really know exactly where you're situated with your channel, and yeah, it's going to be confusing just a little bit. Even though the situation was bad in general and it kind of prevented me from doing a couple of things that I wanted to do, and the numbers kind of tanked. Well, here's the thing. In these 2 months where things were a little bit more difficult and a little bit more complicated, and I kind of took a step back from my activity, well, I had one more subscriber, which was pretty much out of nowhere because I wasn't focusing on the content that I was doing as I wanted to do. And the fact that somebody hit that button was, well, absolutely amazing. Also, I actually had my first like on a video, which again is absolutely amazing. Not only that, but I had for the first time people commenting on my videos, and you know what? It was absolutely amazing to see comments coming from out of nowhere and being full of support. So, here's the thing. Even though you might see this as being a little bit hard and depressing because you're starting a channel from absolute zero, nobody knows who you are, and obviously nobody's gonna take a look at you, and the numbers are gonna go up, but very, very slow. Do not go crazy about it because it's absolutely stupid to take a look at the numbers that I have and think that month 3 in my case is comparable to somebody in year 5 of YouTube. And I don't really know exactly what's going to happen in the future for me, but if I take a look at the situation where I'm going to be doing this exactly as I plan, and somewhere into the future I'm going to be in my year 5 of YouTube, comparing that situation, even in my case, with my own situation in this moment for 3 months on YouTube, that would be absolutely crazy. So, yeah, what I'm going to say is do not go crazy and do not despair if things don't really show up the way you want them to be. Do not compare yourself to people that have an online presence and have some backing when they start something, and do not compare yourself to people who've been doing this year after year after year. Some of them, sure, will be better than others, and in a span of 1 year, some YouTubers might get to, I don't know, 1,000, maybe even 10,000 subscribers. And you know what? You might see somebody that's going to have 1 million subscribers in a year, and that's going to be absolutely insane. But just you have to keep things real. So, yeah, know exactly what you're trying to do and just go ahead, keep posting. Because you see, I've been doing this quite a lot in the past, and I have created gaming channels and all other kind of channels that I could think of in the past, and every single one of those channels is now gone. The idea that I'm trying to say here is that I was trying to prepare a lot for the things that I was about to do when I was creating a brand new channel, but that didn't exactly work because at some point, there was any kind of reason to just go ahead and quit. That's exactly what I did. But the problem is, no matter how much would I prepare for a certain thing, when I was doing it, it just didn't feel right. So basically, yes, it is trial and error. Instead of just sitting back thinking of all the things that you're going to do and trying to prepare 100%, 110%, or whatever, the best thing that you can do is actually go out there and post. Even if it's bad or it's cringy, it's going to get you somewhere because you will not be able to understand everything about yourself, about you being in front of a camera, or about anything that you're going to do on YouTube unless you're going to start doing it. Because you might think you have some great idea and nobody's going to take notice of that, or you might just be in the situation where you get to do a random video and everybody will just go crazy, and that's going to be confusing, but you won't have any kind of idea about that unless you do it. So yes, like I said, again, it's all about trial and error. So this is basically my way of showing you the numbers and making you understand how exactly this situation with YouTube will go eventually. So I don't really have anything more to say for this moment, but I am going to be absolutely ecstatic to see you for my next videos.